we're live. We're live. Okay, so let's see if I can add Isabel into the stream. Hey. Aw. Hi. Oh.
Hi, we did
Hi.
it. And now, how
Now we
is
can.
everybody? Hello, hello. We're going to go live on Facebook and YouTube right now. So let's do that.
Yes. I'm so glad that it's like hopefully
Yes.
gonna work out.
Hold on. There. Try again.
Okay.
Can you
Can you
hear
that's so
yourself
much.
again?
No,
Okay.
that's so much better.
We did it. Now
Perfect.
we have it down. How is
Yay.
everybody? Welcome to the weekly pet roundup. I'm going to move this over because you can actually see this guy in on YouTube. So we don't want that. That's like distracting. So let's at least move it to the side. How is everybody?
I know. I was expecting to see more April Fool's posts on social media. I don't ever do that though. I don't ever
I don't do
post
it
like
either,
that.
but I've fallen for two already.
Have
You haven't
you
fallen for any
really?
yet?
No.
Oh my
I feel
gosh, I've
like
fallen for two.
I feel like in past years I have.
Okay, so the
Um,
first one I fell for was WinPro Pet. Sent an email, and I love their products. I've talked about them before. We used like a few of their things,
yeah.
and their subject line was we're discontinuing some of our products. And of course, I was like, which ones?
That's so
And
funny. That's
all
so
it said was Happy April Fools or something.
okay. Okay.
And
That's
then another
funny
one, I was
because
listening to a podcast, and I'm a big Bravo
oh
lover. Like, I love Bravo
yes.
TV. And I was listening to one of my Bravo podcasts, Ryan Bailey. He was doing the pop culture roundup, which he does every Monday, ironically, just like us. I think it's every other Monday, maybe. And he was talking about how he went out and he saw Tom Sandoval, who he's been, talking bad about for a long time, and now they're friends again. And I was like, this is not going to be good for his look. This is not a good
What?
look for Ryan.
Not a
And then
good
he was
look.
like, you guys know that wouldn't happen. So I totally fell for it. He actually did a pretty good job convincing me. And so I'm going to stay off the internet because I think I'm just going to fall for more stuff. Hello, Brooke. How are you? And hello, everybody who's joining us
Yes.
on Instagram. At some point, I stopped seeing the comments on Instagram for some reason, but I can see
Well,
a few people have joined us, so thank you for joining.
so
Today, we're talking about cats,
we
which is
are
why I'm wearing
you're
my cat earrings. You
like
see these
you
cuties?
it's just
Look at those cute little earrings. I got these from the Charleston cat groomer who I got to meet while I was in Charleston. Hello, Whitney and team. They're awesome. I got to meet her cat, a little hairless, which was adorable, and a few little kitties that she was working on that day. So I have to post about that visit, but it's been so crazy since I got back, and while I was there was so crazy that I couldn't keep up with like the content. So shout out to Whitney and all of the awesome people at the Charleston Cat Groomer in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
I I have so many things to catch up on with what you said. So first of all, WinPro Pet, um, it's so funny you brought them up because Tim is on tomorrow's
He's
podcast
the
on the Pet
best.
Parenting Reset. We're talking all about WinPro and their supplements, which are unlike any other supplement on the market. Because I mean, people that follow me know that like I don't talk about supplements hardly ever. It's just not my thing. Like I don't do supplements, but um, it's different. It's totally different. So I'm really excited to see how people like react and respond. But no, go
I
ahead.
I credit WinPro Pet's joint supplement for extending Titan's life. Like, that is how much I believe in that product. So I definitely recommend it to anybody who has an aging dog. It's their joint, their mobility chew. And I remember we lapsed. Like, I'd run out and like it hadn't arrived yet for like 3 days,
Hmm.
and I could see the decline within like a few days.
Uh,
And the second we started giving it again, he was all, you could see he was moving better, so it was
yeah.
definitely helping. We also used the calming chews for Kira. I sent a huge box of the calming chews to my sister in Miami because she just had a baby and her dog is not taking to it well, and she's in Miami. So he's traveling from Spain to Miami, setting up a new routine there. The dog, not the baby. The baby's fine. And then so I was like, he needs something to help. So I sent them the CBD from CBD Dog Health, and I sent them the chews from WinPro that are calming chews. And the cool thing about them is that they have different formulations, and you can use them all simultaneously. So you can't really overdose on the porcine plasma.
Yeah.
Like the more the merrier.
Right.
So really that's a matter of your budget, but then you can like combine their joint and calming together, and it's not too much for their body. So I love that. So yeah, I could talk about Tim and his team all
But
day.
since we're talking about cats today, he did say that they are coming out with a cat product soon. So, yay!
Finally, I feel like I want one for moms too. Can I get like a
Can
Winpro chew for moms that tastes like coffee? I don't know, because it's such powerful stuff. The porcine plasma is such powerful stuff. It is a byproduct of the farming industry anyway, so it's got so many great, we do plasma treatments on humans already, like for beauty and stuff. They like
Yeah.
put like
Like
they
vampire
inject you with your
facials or
plasma.
whatever.
Yeah, those weird facial things, the vampire facial and all that stuff. But I want to be able to, and I remember I interviewed him a while back, and I was already asking, not about the cats, because I didn't have a cat at the time, so I was totally asking about me. I was like, where can I get this stuff? And he did say that somewhere in the world they do have like a powdered porcine plasma, and that from what he heard, the employees were like taking it at the onset of like a cold or something, and they would feel so much better immediately. So I
Wow.
mean, it's powerful
I
stuff. I just
wonder,
think it's expensive, and the FDA would never
yeah.
approve that and all that stuff. So
I wonder. Now I need to look
I know
at
we gotta find it.
my heart. So, because okay, it was a colostrum that they added recently. Heart and soil. I was like, I know they added
Yes,
something recently, but it was a colostrum that they added.
and I use those since you recommended them, and I love them. By the way,
I love them. Oh my
yes,
goodness.
I know.
And the
From
mood.
the from being vegan and vegetarian to taking like supplements of like beef liver,
I
I
know.
blame you. I blame you.
Well, I mean, that's me too. I was vegetarian forever. What is this? So
I think I have too much light on the
their
turn.
lifeblood has red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. It's bovine though. It's not
Okay, it's
pork.
not porcine. Okay.
Yeah, but I
I
don't. I
mean,
mean, there's.
tomato, right?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on who you listen to. Who you listen to, because it seems like beef liver specifically is like one of the most nutrient dense um, foods on the
Mm-hmm.
planet. But
Mm-hmm.
then, it just depends on what you're looking. So, like, pork has generally more protein per like ounce than many other meats. So, it just depends on what you're looking for. And we're gonna get in the weeds and not talk about cats if we
No, we're
keep
talking
to.
about cats. I wore my earrings. Are you kidding? I wore my kitty cat earrings. So yeah, the funniest thing about cats to me is that I feel like people are always just like, you get a cat, you just put them in the house and they figure it out. And it's like,
Yeah,
that couldn't be further from the truth. And that's actually, if you really think about it, for any animal, why would you even want to do that? So I know that the people we're going to join today are either professional pet sitters like Brooke, who literally make a living out of engaging with cats, right? And like enriching their lives, or people who have cats and obviously care about them enough to join a conversation like this.
yeah,
But I unfortunately feel like we aren't going to be reaching the people that we need to reach here, because there are so many people who are like, oh, I just leave my cat for like a week alone with like an automatic feeder and I go on vacation. And I even commented recently on some post, which was a well-meaning post about like, how long can a cat be left
hmm,
alone without human interaction? And it was like for older cats up to 48 hours. And I was like, what?
what?
That is not good
No,
advice. Like
that is
that
horrible
is a living,
advice.
breathing creature that is used to having you around, and that is super traumatic to be just left alone, not
Yeah,
knowing when you're going to come back, not knowing who's going to refill that automatic feeder, and not knowing who's going to, refill the litter box. Like that, they have needs. They want them met. Just like a baby knows when mom's not around. They know when we're not around, right? Like they know that they're helpless in a way, like in whatever on whatever instinctual level they understand that they are just alone and left to fend for themselves in a house that they cannot get in and out of.
Yeah.
Like it's so
It's
I think
scary.
that's so scary to me as even thinking about I know there was this is a really big downer, but there was a lady who left a baby for 11 days while she went on vacation. And I don't want to go into the weeds on that, but like that breaks my heart for a baby, but we do it for a pet constantly. Like people are leaving their pets to go on
Oh
vacation
my
for
God.
far longer than they should be left. Obviously, 11 days and a human baby is criminal.
Yeah.
It is literally
Yeah.
criminal, and she is obviously being prosecuted for that. But what are we doing with our pets when we just leave them there for like days at a time? And like even being home, right? Even being
Yes.
home and just ignoring them is not really engaging or enriching their lives
No.
either. So that's why we want to talk about this because it's like it's not that hard to enrich a cat's life
Mm-mm.
as long as you're intentional about it. So
Mm-hmm.
you're the one who has so many cats, and you have you have like a special situation where your cats are in a special room that you built for them because your husband is
Yeah.
allergic. And so how do you ensure, obviously you go in, you feed them, you
Yeah.
scoop their litter boxes, but how do you ensure that they're getting,
Yeah.
the enrichment that they need as especially as they age?
So many different things. And it is different as they age because, they may not have the same stamina. They may not want to engage in the same ways. Some of them will, and, some of them might not. But I was very intentional when I set this room up for them. Windows open, doors open. Like I have a screen door, so like the big heavy doors can come open. So I can always get fresh air going. They can smell the outside world. They can, interact. Yeah, catios and platforms on the wall is what Brooke is saying.
Yes.
It kind of is like a catio that's attached to the house.
Yeah, I have a patio for humans, but it's become a catio, and
Yeah.
we thought about opening it up and taking the mesh out, and
Mm-hmm.
since we got a cat, we decided against that because that's his
Right.
favorite place to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, it's a safe way for them to be able to still have interaction with the outside world, get all of the smells, the fresh air coming in. Like, they can hear the birds and the crickets and all the things. They can see out the windows, of course, which is kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because sometimes, and this this happens often where people just don't even realize what's going on. They can get really frustrated. Like if you put, say, a bird feeder right outside the window and they are constantly like seeing those birds and can't get to them. It's one thing to have like kind of a natural setup where the birds are just
Yeah.
out there, but if
Yeah,
you're like in
my catio,
yeah,
he just watches birds all
right.
day because yeah, they're in the grass, right? Like they're
Yeah.
like picking at the grass, they're doing their thing. So yeah, um,
Yeah.
that's natural and that's normal. And I think a lot
Mhm.
of cats will choose to sit at the window where they can see the birds and where
Yes.
they can, even if it's I working as a professional pet sitter in an urban area. I remember a lot of like the front doors had like a little door, like a little kind of decor window at the bottom, or some kind of open door where it was glass.
Yeah.
And you would always find the cats like chirping there,
Mhm.
wait, like
Yes.
watching the birds, and that's what they did all day. And in that case, I feel like it's not super stressful, but I can only imagine like being so close to like a bird
Mhm.
feeder,
Yeah.
um, where it's like they're like face to face and they can't get them would be a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
My husband put a bird feeder on a window here and he did not move any of the stuff that was around it. And I found all my decor on the floor because Bango was like jumping and trying to get to the feeder
Yes.
and knocking things over. So that was just that, when you plan any kind of visual thing like
Mhm.
that where your cat's going to get excited, don't have anything valuable around there because they will move and climb and like jump
Yeah.
up, and it might become a hazard even for the cat if it breaks and there's glass,
Yes.
whatever.
But there are like I have so many things in this room for them to there's a lot of vertical space. So that's important for any cat, but there's a lot of vertical space. There are shelves and climbing things on the walls that are very intentionally there for just for them. There are cat trees. I have one, two, three. So I have I currently have three cat trees. I used to have more, but um, as the number of cats I have dwindled. So I currently have three cat trees. I also have like my furniture is very intentional. So I found this piece at, I want to say it was like a Goodwill or something many years ago. And it is a baby changing table, but it's like super old. They can't sell it as
Right.
a baby changing table because it doesn't meet the like current
Yeah.
safety requirements or whatever. And it's solid wood. It's actually a really beautiful piece of furniture, and it looks like a bunk bed.
Oh, cute.
And so multiple cats can be on it at any one time because it's two layers. Like there's I don't know how to describe it other than that. But my furniture is very intentional, and they can get on any and everything in that room. If there is anything in that room that they can't get to, I have to be like really intentional about,
Yeah.
blocking it off.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, it's set up for them. There's a lot of space for them to roam and run around. I do like catnip toys. I rotate their toys weekly.
Yes.
Um, they also get hunting feeders, which are really fun for cats. You do have to kind of train them to start using them, but it is really fun. They also have like a variation of the hunting feeder for wet food, so it kind of like it doesn't have a flat bottom, so it kind of it looks like this large mouse. It's almost like a licky mat
Yeah.
for cats. And it has like a slightly rounded bottom, so it rocks a little bit and moves a little bit. And
Makes them
it's
work
just,
a little bit.
it makes them
Yeah.
work a little bit. So, yeah, there's a lot going on out there. Um, so I have four cats right now and six litter boxes. So, again, you have to be really intentional about having enough litter boxes for your cats, which we can talk more about that later. But, yeah, it is all set up for them. The only like bad thing, and it's not really a bad thing because it's nothing that I can control, but it's frustrating to me when other people let their cats roam around the neighborhood like just completely unsupervised, because my cats, who I am really intentional about providing them as much enrichment as I can, making sure they're getting all of the fresh air, blah blah blah, and then people let their cats freely roam the neighborhood, and they come up to the back door where I have the big door open, just the screen door closed, and then a really aggressive cat will come up to the door, probably because he smells the food, right, or
Yeah.
something going on,
Or
and
just because
it
he's
just yeah,
territorial and figuring what do you like? What are you
like
doing
what
in
is
there?
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Like
and smells
what
the
is this?
cats.
Yeah.
And I do have one cat who is very offended by other cats. He does not like it at all. And they will like, I haven't seen this cat in a while. I hope nothing bad happened to him. But it's happened everywhere I've lived. There's been at least one cat where this one cat and my cat they are right there on each side of the screen, and they are just doing that like that low like like at each other
That stuff
forever.
sends chills down my spine when I hear cats doing that. No.
I don't, that's the like one frustrating part about it, but I still wouldn't change what I do
Yeah.
because they need all of that enrichment,
Yeah.
I think.
Luckily, I have not had any. We used to have a tomcat in the neighborhood that would come in, but that tomcat has long gone. Like he's been long gone for a long time before, way before I got Bango.
Yeah.
We have a patio that we open up. The only thing is the patio has like one, two, three doors, so I have to block one of the door, two of the doors so that the kids don't open them, and we only use one door so that nobody lets him out by mistake. My kids are already very aware, like, do not go outside while the cat's there. I don't, unless I'm there, I don't even want them opening that door. It's just, you can play in the patio You can be with the cat, but you can't go to the yard. We have never had any animal come in since we've had Mango, other than birds. Again, we have two large trees, and we're in the desert, so like the birds come to our house, which is what he loves. And one thing we found was that we had, because we bought the house with a doggy door, we never let Kira come in and out on her own, but when we were home, the cat was in the patio, she would use the doggy door. Well, the cat figured out how to use the doggy door. And one day we find him in the patio with a bird. So he had gone out, gotten a bird, and brought it back in. Thankfully, he did not leave the house, but immediately we had to lock the doggy door. So there's no more doggy door access for the dog or for anybody. But he loves it out there. He will whine in the morning when we go downstairs. He will whine to get outside. And I literally just like open, he'll meow, meow, meow until it's open. Then he goes outside while the kids are doing their crazy morning routine, which is a lot of yelling and screaming, put your shoes on, whatever. He's outside ignoring all of us, which is exactly where he wants to be. And then once everything's under control, I feed them, he comes back in, and that's it for the day. And then in the evening, again, when I start cooking, he goes outside. So he has like this routine where he really enjoys going outside. And I find that when he's outside for long periods of time, like on a Saturday during the day, like let's say we're home in the afternoon, he's outside pretty much the entire afternoon because our family room's right next to that patio. He sleeps so much better at night. Like he is the kind of cat, he's only one, so he'll wake me up. He wakes me up at 3 a.m, between 3 and 4 every single day for cuddles. Every single day he comes in meowing, wakes us all up. This is what he does. But the days where he spends this whole afternoon like watching the birds, he sleeps through the night, which is so funny because it's like children, right? Like we need to wear out our children so that they can fall asleep. Otherwise, bedtime takes 2 hours because they have all this energy and they haven't like released it. So the patio, if you don't have a catio, Brooke is saying that there's a lot of really creative catio platform things on TikTok. We've all seen them. The Two Crazy Cat Ladies had their whole like super highway put in, which is super cool, and they like documented that. Brooke is recommending Connie Ellen, who I don't know, so I'll be honest, I don't know her. She has great, like Mariah Carey said, I don't know her. Connie Ellen, so if you guys want to follow up with that, you can definitely check her out. But that if you don't have a way to recreate a catio, because a lot of us I used to live in a condo or something, if you have a balcony, find out about putting in a screen door. If you have only the front door is your only option, then put in a storm door. Just make sure that the mesh that is there is very, very secure. You don't want them to be able to just like put a paw through it and break it. The mesh that we have on our patio is pretty thin. And sometimes I worry, like if the kids were to lean on it, it will break. And it's kind of like you have to put it into the edges. Yeah. So it can pull out of the edge really quickly. And that is really where I get most nervous about patios, catios, and doors is if the mesh were to break. Just like with dogs in yards, that you can't just take it for granted that your fence is in place or that your gate is closed. You have to take similar precautions with any kind of catio, front door, anything that has mesh. And obviously you want that mesh because that mesh is what lets them interact with the environment. But you don't want to just take it for granted that it's in place and that it's protecting your cat and keeping him indoors. Yeah. So in addition to the catio, you do cat trees, you do shelves, and I'm planning on doing shelves. So I have questions for you actually, and I did interview cattherapy.co. If you guys don't know her, follow her. She's great. We saw her in Dallas. But she and I talked all about shelves, and one thing I did not ask is how high is too high for cat shelves? Do you have any idea? I know that they're going to have some kind of grip and some kind of traction so that they're safe, but I have an entryway that's very high, and I was thinking of like using that, but how high is too high to go for a cat?
I don't think there is. Like, as long as there's access on both sides to get up and down, I don't think there is. I feel like I've seen it all the way pretty much up to the, with just the space for the cat up to the ceiling.
Well, I have cathedral ceilings.
Yeah, so... well, Jay and Adrian have that like stairwell, because it's 2 stories, and they have something it goes, it's like really
All the way
freaking
up.
high.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like really freaking high
Okay.
in their
So I'm
house.
good because I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do it so that he can get some height in there. It's a
Hmm.
space in the house we don't use at all, right? It's the entryway and it just like has a very high like lamp.
Yeah.
That's it. So on
Yeah.
the sides there's nothing there. So that is
As
and
long
if you're
as
talking about
like
shelves,
as long as you don't think he would jump onto the chandelier, because that could be a problem.
like a swinging cat like Tarzan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. That's a good thought. And then when it comes to shelving, the actual shelf itself, cat therapy has a lot of tips. The biggest thing that I learned from her is traction, some kind of grip. People use the IKEA shelves all the time, where they're like the Malm shelves or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but those are so smooth that if your cat's running, they could kind of miss it. They could that they're with their nails being too long, they could
Yeah.
fall from it, or they could like pull a muscle or injure themselves or some way. So always having that traction is important. Some people just use like a stair runner, the individual stair runners that they sell. You can use like
Yeah.
tape, that rug tape that they sell to
Mm-hmm.
adhere, make sure that it's actually on the shelf, it's not just laying there, because that can also move and hurt them. So
Mm-hmm.
those kinds of precautions are super important. But I feel like shelves are such a great idea because even in a small place, using your walls, like the space above your doorways,
Mm-hmm.
like there's nothing there. We
Yeah.
don't usually put art up there. We don't usually do anything up there. So it's such a great way to use like the space above your doorway, your closet. I'm literally looking over here. I'm like, there's a doorway, there's a closet.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, I have shelving behind me that he's on all the time, but it's covered in stuff. So it's not as fun
Yeah.
for him, right? Like he's like
Right.
sniffing around and knocking stuff over, which I'm sure is fun, but like he can't get any speed. He can't get
Yeah.
any exercise
Right.
really from that.
So, like, that just reminded me. 'Cause it's been so long since I've read the Jackson Galaxy books, but he had in one of his books, I want to say it was the Catify book that he did. And I'm trying to remember what happened. Somebody had like I want to say they had Savannah cats, and they had like an island in the kitchen with the uh, lighting, like a chandelier light over the island in the kitchen, and the Savannah cats kept getting on the refrigerator and
Yeah.
jumping all the way over onto the lighting over on the. I'm trying to remember what he did, because those cats are so big and so
I know
strong.
those are huge. I mean, I would never. I mean, hats off to anybody who wants a cat like that in their home. I recently saw the reel of like I think the cat was trying to get into something, the hot dog buns or something, and the owner's like saying like he's angry or she's angry with me because I took the hot dog buns away, and the cat's like hissing at her and like swatting at her, and I'm like, you're gonna die. Like that cat wants you dead. I know everybody in the comments was like, this is the joke, that the running joke that like white women like they go in and like play with like tigers,
Oh
and it's
well,
like,
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
baby, and it was
yeah.
all those comments being like another
That
white woman dying
would
from
be
like
me.
taking care of
Yeah,
a pet, right? Yeah,
that would be me for sure.
it's so
So
funny.
yeah, Brooke was asking about walking your cats. My neighbor walks their cat.
I love
Um,
cat walking. I think it's
yeah,
great.
I think
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
incredible.
I think it's fantastic.
Please.
I think that as a dog walker, I did not offer the service just because it wasn't as common then, and we didn't have as much equipment as we have now. Now I think that it is a fantastic thing to do, but you need to practice inside a
Mhm.
lot.
Yes, and you really need to make sure, like, don't just buy a dog harness and think it's going to
Oh my
fit
gosh,
your
no.
cat. Like, you need a cat harness. It will probably take a lot longer for your cat to warm up to a harness than a dog to
Oh
warm
yeah.
up to a harness, but you have to really be careful that your cat can't get out of the harness, because that actually happened to me one time.
Oh my gosh, it happens all the time. So
Yeah.
I've interviewed two people about adventure cats. The Pack, she adventures with her dogs and her cats. She camps with them. Her episode was great because she gave a lot of tips on like how to like actually just like set up the camp
Yeah.
so that your pets are safe. She said, and everybody I've interviewed, and it was also Emily from Kitty Cat Go. So we have always discussed that there's no such thing as a completely safe cat harness because cats are very, very flexible.
I
So
mean,
even if it's on right, even if it's the
yes.
right product, you need to be watching them. You can't
Yeah.
like leave your, like you think about like how people leave their dogs like at a grocery store, run in and come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like your cat won't be there
Mm-mm.
anymore. Like your
Mm-mm.
cat will know how to get out of that harness. So
Yeah.
you always have to be there.
Yeah.
You always need to make sure you have like a backup plan. You need to practice indoors until you know that the cat is comfortable wearing it. Use a lot of
Mm-hmm.
positive reinforcement. My cat Bango loves the harness. He kind of like initially will like go limp and like not really respond to it. We give him a bunch of like churros and then he starts walking around, and what we do a lot of the time is just leave him in the harness inside for a few minutes, like not a
Mm-hmm.
long time. 5 minutes is plenty. That way it reminds him, like we might not be going out,
Right.
but at least it reminds him that skill that he has of wearing the harness.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps him kind of fresh in his mind. And he's young though, so like other cats are and he's very social and very comfortable. Like he's not your typical like cat that's going to be a challenge. I literally said to the rescue, like, I want an adventure cat, and they said he'd be great for that. So if you have a cat that you've had for 5 years, you never imagined walking them, and now you want to start, Kitty Cat Go Adventures has a Facebook group for adventuring where they help you with tools, with equipment. She's amazing. She's so many things. She's got a membership where you can actually like go a little deeper. They have challenges where I don't know if she's doing them now, but for a while she was like, okay, everybody, like water this month. Like let's get our cats out on the water. So she would go canoeing with her cat. So that is obviously extreme levels of enrichment that most people are not going to want to do. But if you do want to adventure with your cat, like I dream of that. I dream of one day having an RV and taking my cat with us,
Yeah.
and like letting him sniff, the Grand Canyon. I don't know. Like some people don't really want that, but that would sound pretty awesome to me. But again, it's whether your cat wants to do that, how much patience you want to put into that, how much time you want to put into that. And again, recognizing that, like you said, it's not a dog.
Yeah.
It's a cat. So
No.
think of like the dog that you've ever met that like resisted harnesses the most. That is like probably Van Gogh. That is the level where like that is the most comfortable cat
So,
with
yeah.
harnesses is going to be like equal to the most uncomfortable dog with harnesses.
Yeah.
So you have to know what you're dealing with. I think that cats are underserved in so many ways. Like in the professional pet sitting industry, cats are being visited only for travel pet care, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about dog walking while you're at work, right? Like you have a long day, let me come walk your dog. And we think about it from a potty perspective. But that's also engagement, enrichment,
Mm-hmm.
exercise, heart health, weight control, all of the benefits of a dog walker there. For a cat, the cat's alone for 12 hours too. Why not have a 15-minute rigorous, like wand toy session with your
Yeah.
pet sitter? Like spend the money when maybe not every single day, but maybe once a week, have a stranger come in, a stranger that you trust and that you've enrolled with, obviously, somebody who's not part of your house, and have them play with your cat. It socializes them. It gives them an opportunity to like change their routine a little bit, which is, cats don't like to change routine, but this is a welcome change, right? Because somebody will come in just for them, churro treats in hand, wand toy in hand. 15, 20 minutes is all they really need
Yeah.
until you get home. And like, I feel like we're not serving the cat community like that, maybe because the cat community isn't asking for it.
Yeah.
But I know that that's like a perfect, like it would be a beautiful relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to just be when you're traveling. It can be whenever. Like life gets
Yeah.
crazy. You have a big deadline coming up. You're a CPA in tax season, right? Like get somebody to come in and play with your cat. Obviously a professional, because cats can be a little difficult to manage. So you don't want the
Yeah.
kid next door coming in and getting scratched up. That is a liability. I would advise against that. But something like that would be awesome if you are short on time. And what would I do? Like if I were the pet sitter, definitely wand toys. Like I would ask you to have a wand toy. I would have ask you to have churu treats or any kind of like little treats that I could give your cat to engage them. Balls, the crinkle balls, like all of these things are so cheap too. Like you can go to
Oh yeah.
PetSmart and get these things for so cheap. The crinkle balls that kind of look like pom-poms, but they're metal.
Mm-hmm.
Those they really like. The springs that are just like they come like 18 in a bag for
I know.
$2. The little mice with the long tails that you can throw and they bring back. Like all of these things are so cheap to have in your house. The problem is not the investment. The problem is the time that like cat
Mm-hmm.
owners just don't have.
Yeah.
So I like to have my kids play with my cat. They're kind of young now still, so it's hard because I don't like the way they play with the wand. I feel like they're like beating them over the head with it by mistake. Like they have the best
Yeah.
intentions, but
Right.
like there takes a little finesse with a wand toy.
It
There's
does.
like chirping little birds that I like for them to throw because he's obviously really into birds. I feel like we've over the year that we've had him, we've learned what he likes. He loves
Mm-hmm.
the spring toys. He loves the balls. I shared around Halloween that one of my friends had brought like eyeballs, like they're like these plastic eyeballs that you get for
Yeah.
Halloween. We have
Like
a bunch of them
the
still around
ping
our house.
pong ball
Yeah, there's
shape?
like a ping
Yeah,
pong
yeah.
ball, but it's a little bit smaller than that,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously it's too big for him to like choke on because it's a
Yeah.
sizable ball. And he just like swats it all over the house, and because we have hardwood floors, it moves, it goes fast, and he
Yeah.
like loves it. But if you have carpeting, that might not even be that much fun. So you have to kind
Mm-hmm.
of figure out what's going to work for your cat, how old your cat is, and remember that your older cats can get a little lazy like we do.
They
Like
can.
they really do. So you might have to like encourage the play a little more than like with my 1-year-old cat who like I literally just kick it while I'm walking through and now he's like engaged in like a 20 minutes play session with that ball,
Yeah.
right? Like it's kind of like us and like we lose that kind of joy of play as we grow up. So do cats, but we can bring it back. Like we definitely can inspire some playfulness from them either through a professional pet sitter or with us. I remember interviewing Cat Savant, and she said that in the evening, they would, before they had kids, she and her husband would always do like that play session, right? So that they can sleep better overnight.
Yep. Yep.
And now that she has kids, they kind of do reading time or before reading time or at some point in the evening routine they have play session with the cats, with the kids, everybody's involved, and then like so the cat's routine stayed the same, the cat's needs are met, they're not being woken up in the middle of the night, it's benefit for everybody, and it takes like 15 minutes, it's like all it takes.
Yeah. But yeah, what you said about learning what your cat likes is really important, especially if you have a multi-cat household because they're not all going to like the same things.
No.
And like she's my only female cat. She really likes to be in a tunnel when she's playing. It's that like protective, whatever,
Yeah.
that my prey can't see me. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna jump out at like just the right time
Right.
and get, this one toy or whatever it is that we're playing with. And so I know, like, I have another room in my house where, like, I take her by herself to play
Yeah.
because I know her play style and she doesn't want any of the other cats involved. Like, it is really, can be really important. Some cats are fine playing with other cats and some
Yeah.
are not. Like, you have to
Yeah.
really get to know and I mean, I've had these cats since they were
Yeah.
kittens, so I know them pretty well, but you have to take the time to like figure out what they like, and if you're doing something and they're not engaging with it, then try something else.
No.
Don't just be like, oh well, my cat doesn't like to play,
It's
or you don't want to play the way I want to play, so we're not playing. Like that's not how
yeah.
this works.
So I think a couple things. Brooke is saying that she has a client who pays for them to visit. She's a professional pet sitter out of Katy, Texas, and she says that they do it because it helps the human, gives the cat a change, but also because it keeps the cat familiar with the pet sitter for when they do travel, which is brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Especially if you're not a regular traveler. Like, let's say that you're the kind of person who takes one big vacation every year. That is such a good strategy because, yeah, I mean, your cat's going to forget. They're going to be in a completely different place a year later. So keeping
Yeah.
them top of mind is really good. Another thing I will say is that, like, we have not invested in a lot of toys.
Yeah.
So when I say we've bought a lot of toys, but we haven't invested in them
Hmm.
because there have been toys where I've given them to neighbors, right? There was this adorable scratching thing that looked like a mushroom at TJ Maxx or Home Goods. And I love that place. And they have amazing stuff. And so I bought it just because it's so aesthetically pleasing that I was like, this is so cute. And he loves to scratch. He never once laid a nail on that thing ever. So I had it for like 3 months, and I saw a neighbor during Halloween. Actually, we were at her house like getting candy, and she was like, oh, we have this kitten. And it was this tiny kitten. And I was like, this kitten is probably going to want to climb that mushroom because it's hype for them.
Yeah.
It's not for my cat.
Right.
So I was like, can I give you a cat toy? Because it's not working at my house. It's taking up space. It's like useless. And then we also got that my kids chose a fish that kind of flops. I've
Yeah.
shared this on. That cat looks at it and like literally walks away from it.
Yeah.
Like looks at it like, what is that thing doing? And
Yeah.
like just keeps going. So like you don't invest a lot of money in these toys until you know what they like. And even if you know what they like again, when we first got him, I had one of those circular scratchers that had the ball in it. And he used it so much that I had to throw it away. Like it was like falling apart. He scratched it to death. Like it was great. I bought almost an exact same one from Home Goods, maybe same brand. He kind of like outgrew it.
Yeah.
It kind of like is no longer that. He'll
Right.
scratch it, but it's not that interesting to him. What I figured out over the years is that he's a vertical scratcher. So, yeah, that's not good. So my couches,
Yeah.
the little bench that I have by my bed, the sides of that is what he likes.
Yeah.
So we have vertical scratching posts everywhere. We have those scratchers that go around the corner of the couch because he will scratch my couch. And underneath them, I actually had to put the deterrent because there's like a little tiny bit where that scratcher doesn't come up high enough. And he was like starting up there
Yeah.
and then going to the scratcher. So I'm not huge on the deterrent, but I use it like when I put something else on top of it that doesn't like make him feel like he's not safe in his own home.
Yeah.
So I have had to just get really creative when I got him. I just got all the things that were for the floor, right?
Right.
Like he had a cat tree, but he doesn't scratch the cat tree. He scratches the couch. So it's vertical, but not too high up. It's like you have to really figure out what they like and why they do it. He stretches when he scratches.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like kind of like close to the ground, but vertical. And again, it's like if I don't have that, he's going to figure out a way to do it.
Yes. And you do have to figure out what what texture they like, because all four of my cats like different textures to scratch. So I have to have all kinds of different things. I even have one cat, his favorite thing to scratch is a yoga mat. I don't know what that is, but I use yoga mats because I have so many litter boxes. That's what I use for like in front of the litter boxes to try to catch litter. And that's his favorite thing. That's what he loves. And they're not expensive.
Yeah.
So, I can go through them pretty regularly, which is good anyway, right? Because they're getting out of the litter box and like, I don't want to keep those things around forever.
Yeah, eventually those.
Anyway, but yeah. And, but I do have cats that do like the sisal.
Yeah.
But they want it vertical, right? So you do have to like try different things and realize what it is that they're going to, what they're attracted to, and try to, mimic that as best as possible. And but I do also have cats, two of them, that do really like the like cardboard thing.
Yes.
Like, and
And
those
honestly,
are easy.
I do. Speaking of cardboard, I will, if I have a box that just came in, I will leave it for 2 days. I will not leave it longer because I am a little bit of an interior design like whore, I guess you could say. I love interior design. I love to see my house beautiful, and it's hard enough with 2 kids and a messy husband. So I will leave a box for like 2-3 days. And when we traveled recently, I left a few boxes, right? So like I was gonna be here, and the pet sitter doesn't care, so I left a few boxes. And one of the things that you could do, and actually Brooke just mentioned this over here on Facebook, is you can get that one of these boxes that you just get from the mail, you ordered something, whatever, put the toys in there, put some catnip in there, shake it around, store them in there. When you do your toy rotation, you can keep it with the catnip in there, so that when they get it out, it's a little more interesting and it's new to them because you've rotated it. When I tell you toy rotation is everything, even with my kids, with me, I rotate my like creams and my makeup because sometimes I'm like bored. I'm like, oh, look what I found. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the novelty. So doing that is a really good idea because you can keep it organized, maybe in the closet or somewhere it's contained. I also use the little cubby in our cat condo that he doesn't like to go in. Another thing I've realized about my cat doesn't like cubbies. He doesn't want to be in a cubby. He wants to be out looking at everything. He doesn't want to be hidden. He will use his tunnel toy, but like just to like play hunting, and then that's it. So I store a lot of toys in there. So I can just go around picking them up, throwing them in there, and then when I want to play with him, I take them out because he's not taking them out of there himself. So finding places to store stuff and rotate it is so important. I also love the idea of, what are they called? The sticks. Oh my God, what? I'm forgetting the sticks.
Like the Silvervine?
Silvervine sticks. They come wrapped in like a little sisal stuff, and like he loves those, and we literally play fetch with them. I'm not scared of my dog getting into them, even though she doesn't really pay attention to them. They're like around, she doesn't really pay attention to any of his stuff, but it's good for their teeth, and you see him like walking around with it, and it's like up and down the stairs with this big stick in his mouth. And the only thing I will say about those is that he only likes them when they're fresh, like freshly out of the bag. The ladies from Cat gave me some at Super Zoo, and every time I took out a fresh one, it was like, ooh, he was so excited to see that. But then after a while, he kind of lost interest. So what I did was I put him back in the bag with new ones. So I guess maybe the smell was a little stronger, whatever it is. So he liked those more. And Silvervine is a type of catnip, right?
Yeah, and I think you can like take a spoon and like scrape it to get more
activated.
I think so. Yeah. My cats aren't huge they like catnip, but they're not huge on Silvervine, so I haven't spent a ton of time with it. But yeah, so many years ago at this point, when I stopped feeding kibble, I had some of those plastic containers, the airtight containers that you store kibble in. And so I took one of those. I probably donated the rest, but I took one of those, and that's what I keep their toys in because so I sprinkle some catnip in there and rotate their toys every week at least. When I'm cleaning, I pick up all their toys and like rotate all of their toys, and so then they get to like marinate in fresh catnip regularly. And they love that. And so Brooke also brought up laser pointers, and I think
I know, I'm like, we gotta talk laser pointers. We have to do it.
We do.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So I'm not against laser pointers as long as they're used appropriately. First and foremost, they should never be like, you should never point them in anyone's eyes, your cats, your dogs, your kids, anybody. Like, don't ever do that.
Right now in our home, we don't have them. We don't use them. And that is exactly why.
Because, I mean, you have little kids, right? Like you were saying earlier, it's hard to monitor what they're doing constantly. And that would just be too tempting, I imagine, for little kids. But the thing with a laser pointer is if there's nothing physical for your cat, it's great to get them to run around and chase and get some exercise going, but you need to swap it out with something physical so that they win, so that they can catch
the prey.
Yes.
Exactly.
So as long as you're doing that, great. Go for it.
Yeah, so I like to do, when I was a professional pet sitter, I would have like the tiny freeze-dried salmon treats this was before churros were what they are today. I
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, as a professional pet sitter, never used churros,
Hmm.
because I think I stopped being in the field before that was like a thing. So I would take the freezer. I remember they came in a jar, and I would always smell like salmon. So
Yeah.
gross. It's a wonder I did not end up single and with 18 cats in a condo in DC, because I always smelled like salmon, because I always had those tiny little freeze-dried treats. And so we would play and play, and then I would just drop it near where the pointer was. So we might be
Yeah.
playing over here, I'd drop it over there, then I'd like kind of like bring them with the laser pointer to that treat. So being strategic about
Hmm.
giving them something, and you don't have to use treats. I like treats because most of the cats I cared for did not get treats back then. Like,
Hmm.
they just, it wasn't a thing. And if they were getting like nasty, like Friskies treats, you know what I mean? So I would like splurge on these freeze dried salmon treats, and every cat loved me because, I mean, obviously you want the owner to be like, how does my cat love you
Yeah.
so much? And it was the
Yeah.
treats more so than anything. But they would like run to it and like love it, and it was tiny, so I could get a lot of bang for my buck, right? Because they're tiny. I know Green Juju has little treats as well that are salmon, so you can get those. I don't remember the brand I used, but I got it from Chewy, and it was in like a jar, and I ended up using those with my neonatal kittens too. Like, those are awesome to have just because it is not a huge investment, and there's a lot of reward there because it's a
Hmm.
very high level
Yeah.
treat. It's just freeze dried salmon. Um, so yeah, laser pointers, no kids. Give them a happy ending with a treat. Or I literally, that's, I say these things so you remember, okay, guys? I say that so that you remember. Give them a happy ending with the laser pointer. They need to either get a toy,
Oh
they
my
need to either
Lord.
get a treat, they need to get some kind of happy ending, or else you're just leaving them frustrated,
One
guys.
day I'm gonna take clips from all of these and just put them together.
You know, it is what it is. We're all adults here. We're all on social media.
Yeah.
And you know what? What's really funny is my show. Like, I have a very young following.
Oh,
So, um, but they are 18
okay.
and over, so they're
Okay.
adults as far as
All
I'm
right.
concerned.
There you
And yes, this is how I talk in front of my children. Yes, it is.
go.
That's just how I talk. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think we covered everything. If I would really what I wanted was to hear from others and say what their cats really like, so we can learn from each other. So if you join this late, and you have like a really brand you like, that you got get their stuff, tag them so we can learn more about them as well. Like, this is not just for you guys,
Yes.
this is for us too. I'm always looking for more ways to entertain Van Gogh, especially in the evenings, so that he doesn't wake me up at 3 a.m. And again, I've said this to a million people. I know this for my own self, and I know that it's my fault that he's waking me up at 3 a.m. because he's not getting enough like attention in the evening. I know that, and I recognize it, and I've had people be like, my cat wakes me up at night all the time, and I'm like, yeah, mine too, and this is why. So it really is a matter of like getting them something that they like. I remember the my two very good friends, Cat Behavior Alliance, Rita and Linda. When I did an article a few years ago for one of the magazines about like gifts for pets, and one of the things that they recommended was one of those USB charging cat toys that was like a mouse. We got one of those. It is a little more time intensive because you actually have to charge it, and it doesn't hold a charge that long. But you can get those on Amazon. It's really cool because they move like a mouse. Like, your cat has to kind of touch
Okay.
it, and then it kind of like
Okay.
moves.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun for the cat because he's like, but at some point, I feel that my cat kind of figured out that it was not real. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So the novelty wore off pretty quickly there.
Hmm.
So maybe if I were to, like, I don't know, figure out how to find something that's similar but like can be food related, like where they can like catch it and eat it.
Have you tried hunting feeders
Uh, I have not.
and
I
like
have not.
hiding? See that having the dog might, but I mean,
That's
it
the
would.
problem with that's. So I have all sorts of cat toys that are like enrichment toys, like treat dispensing puzzle toys or
Hmm.
whatever, and the dog ends up using them all because
Yeah.
she's smart, right? So she's like, ooh, I'm gonna move him over and I'm gonna swat
Hmm.
this thing until I get all the treats out. So
Yeah.
I do have one that's like a puzzle that I put on the table, and so she can't get to it.
Yeah.
But if he right now eats in a on his cat condo
Yeah.
because of her.
Yeah.
So I got a cat condo that was supposed to be like places for him to lay, and they have like a little cushion. I turned one of the shelves around, eliminated the cushion, so that we could put
Yeah.
his food there, which
Yeah.
works great because like I don't have to worry about them fighting. He eats her kibble, and I'm like, this is trash. Like, why are you not eating that? Like this, you have much better food than her.
The
Why are you eating this trash?
palatants.
Because he doesn't get kibble at all, so it's like just like something new. But he right now, I don't think that he would be. He does this annoying thing where if I give him like something and it's a little bit bigger, I give it to him on his cat condo, he'll bring it down to the floor, and then guess who eats it? So I'm trying. So like that's the problem. Like I obviously wouldn't want him to like toss that off of the shelf, nor would I want to put it down and then have her do it. So I could use that every so often, just like not for every meal, but that's still like possible. Like I could close the door to the patio and like leave him in there with Kira inside, or when Kira's in the yard, so I can get creative. So that's definitely something I'm gonna look into.
Yeah, I really like them. But I do have, my dog and my cats are separated, so it is easier.
But do you have problems with your cats eating each other's food?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They all just go from plate to plate.
But everybody gets what they need.
Yeah. I mean, I have one cat in particular who is just, if there is a plate down, he is going to eat off of it, period, because he's the king, right? But yeah, no, everybody, and I have one other cat who like he'll eat a few bites and then literally go lay down and wait because he knows that the other cat is going to come over and eat what he wants, and then he'll come. But that also happens to be my fattest cat, so I'm like, you're fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
You're fine. Yeah, it is, interesting to stay on top of all of their personalities and their little quirks. And
I have one last question for enrichment, and I actually am torn about this. Cat TV, where you leave on the TV and there's a bird chirping and there's, a squirrel making a nest or whatever it is. What are your thoughts?
I think it depends on the cat. I think it's worth trying to see if your cat likes it or engages with it. I have had 3 cats that like cat TV. None of the cats I have now have ever like engaged with it. I had one in particular who just loved it, like literally would sit there and wait for me to put the DVD in. And he loved it. He was so engaged, his tail was going, and he never got frustrated and attacked any other cat or anything like that. So like he really actually did like it. It wasn't frustrating for him. But yeah, you have to it can be frustrating for some cats.
So my recommendation is always to, anytime you introduce any new toy, any new activity, be there to see their reaction. Because even if they do get frustrated, that's not necessarily a deal breaker. You just maybe need to bring in some kind of a tower that he can scratch nearby so he doesn't attack your couch. Those kinds of things where you can like work it out. Obviously, if he's attacking the TV, time to turn it off. That is dangerous for everybody involved. I have seen cats that like truly like get into it to the point where it's like concerning for the furniture and the TV, like where whatever it's the stand the TV's on. So if that's your case, like maybe not try it. But if your cat like does not have any kind of bird nearby, like you don't have that window, you don't, you just don't have a way to give them access to the outdoors, it is a good idea, maybe not in like on your huge plasma television, maybe somewhere smaller where it doesn't feel so like
they have like aquarium ones too. Which are interesting.
Those are cool.
I actually really like it's really calming for me to listen to it. So like if you're
you're fine.
On, and it's really calming for you, and then like maybe your cat could actually get some entertainment from it as well.
Yeah, And if they're not into it, you'll just know, and you won't need to
Yeah.
bother with it. But it's worth a shot. All of these things are worth a shot. Um, Anytime you're introducing something, always be present. That for dogs and cats and children, you never know how people are going to hurt themselves with a toy. I have learned. My daughter today put on a jumper that she got for Easter, and it had like one of these strings for hanging so that it wouldn't fall off
Oh,
the
yeah,
hanger.
yeah, yeah.
And she's like pulling it and like trying to like, I don't know what she's trying to do. And I'm like, you're trying to strangle yourself with this. And I'm like, the product manufacturer never imagined that a 4-year-old would literally just go like
Oh
with
my
this thing.
gosh.
So obviously I immediately cut it off. But
Yeah.
this is what you don't, our kids, our pets, they don't know what they don't know. So like be
Yeah.
there, make sure. And then like if you have a pet who's like an eater of things, like obviously take extra precautions because you don't want choking or anything like that. And if you have
Yeah.
multi-species households, obviously be there so that your dog doesn't think that like this toy is like a chew toy. Because like I've
Yeah.
seen my dog chew my daughter's toys. Like, you know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
out of like boredom, she just like chews it,
Yeah.
and that could be a choking hazard and like an obstructional hazard. So like just be aware and don't get discouraged if your cat didn't like it. Go back to Home Goods, try again.
Yeah. There's
I
so
know
many
this is
different
not sponsored by Home Goods, but it could be. It could be.
there are so many different toys out there. I mean, just give them
Yes.
a
Yes.
try.
Yes, and if you can avoid things that just look flimsy and look like
Mhm.
poorly made and
Yeah.
poorly manufactured, and obviously when it comes to catnip, get the highest quality you can afford, organic catnip, organic silvervine. Don't be cheap when it comes to those things
Yeah.
because they are ingesting it. Like they really are ingesting
They
it.
are. I know. I hated when Westpaw stopped producing their catnip. It was all organic, grown in Montana. It was
Yeah.
like the best catnip. My cats went crazy on it. I literally bought like I want to say like $150 worth of it just to like last me forever.
That's hilarious. So where, because I have the silver vine that I got from Ryer Cat. Where can we get good catnip? Does anybody know? The organic good stuff.
I
I know the two crazy cat
know.
ladies sell catnip toys on their website, and I know that there's the what is it? Cat crack? Is it cat crack?
That sound yeah, like the like
Kitty
if you're looking
crack.
at
I think it's kitty crack.
like the Yow YEOWWW, that brand smells incredible. Like even I smell like their toys. They smell incredible. But I think you know one of my favorite things to do is to go on Etsy and support small businesses because there are people out there that are growing it. I grow it in my backyard.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy. I mean, depending on where you, even if you live in an apartment, you can grow it indoors, but, and then you know the quality of it, right? As long as
Exactly.
you're getting like organic seeds from somewhere. Um, meowawana.
Meowana, that's the one. It's not Kitty Crack, it's Meowana. Yeah, they were at Super Zoo the first year I went, and I have to put that out actually. I've never put out my interview with the owner, but yeah, they do a really good job of
Yeah.
sourcing it and bringing the best stuff. I'm looking at the Two Crazy Cat Ladies website. They have a ton of awesome toys, by the way.
Hmm.
Theirs are super safe, so they are
Yeah.
sourced. They have the Cocoa Curly Coils, which I
Yeah.
love. And they are made of all natural organic coconut shell. So they last long, they're safe,
Mhm.
non-toxic, and they're biodegradable for when you are done with them. They have a ton of stuff. They have the snake, the cobra
Hmm.
is what they call it. They have a crazy cat pack for $20,
Yeah.
like with all sorts of these things in there. And then they have their cute little kitty crack pillows for cats, and they have a kitty crack nip spray. So kitty crack
That's
nip
the
spray.
spray is good.
Yeah.
And I will say you can also get uh, so veterinary grade essential oils from Animalio. The Away blend specifically, it is designed for bugs, like to keep bugs off of you or your pet, but it has, I don't know if it has catnip in it or something else in the mint family. I'd have to double check. My cat Romeo loves it. Like I will literally, I'll take a tea towel or even a paper towel if I'm just in in a mood, and I will spray. I keep it in a bottle with diluted in water,
Yeah.
so like it's ready to use, and I will spray that, and he goes nuts. He loves
That's so
it.
funny. It's so funny to see what they're drawn to. Obviously, we both love, oh my gosh, what is her name? Julianne Thorne. What is the name of
Oh,
her
naturally
brand?
cats.
Naturally Cats. She's always
Hmm.
talking about self-selection and
Hmm.
all of those things. And I love to see where cats like tell us what they're
Yeah.
into. And that's just like enrichment and playtime. They'll tell us
Yeah.
with their food, they'll tell us. So we got to listen. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you want to find more interesting toys, I just discovered more on the Two Crazy Cat Ladies website. They have whisker discs and a tiger wand. Obviously, they have little minnow munchies where you can use those for the happy ending. You can find these bouncy tall tail balls on here.
Those are
Um,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, so
The
there's a ton of
bouncy balls.
really fun toys and a lot of supplements on the Two Crazy Cat Ladies website. We love them, we trust them, and if
Yes.
you're not shopping on there for your cat, take a look. They have really reasonable prices and really cool stuff.
Yeah. And I will actually say, like, as somebody who has a supplement graveyard, um, if I could just start over and not buy anything else and just buy like the best of the best of the best for my cats and for my dog, for my cat, honestly, everything that the Two Crazy Cat Ladies sells
Yeah.
is safe for cats and dogs and
Yeah.
humans. But
Yeah.
yes, their supplements are, that's what I would go for.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
used the
Hmm.
Oxycat for I think it was the Oxycat for my cat's ringworm. And it's in their food, so it's not like it's topical. It's in the
But
food and it
you
helps so
can.
much.
Oxycat is so versatile. You can use it topically. In fact, I use it when my cat gets like gunky eyes. I used
Yes.
it for me when I had adenovirus and I got pink eye. I used it in my eyes. Yeah,
It's
it's
so
so
good.
versatile.
So good. Yeah. Yeah. And they did tell me, give it to your kids. And I was like, I
Yeah.
keep forgetting to do that. But luckily, we haven't been sick. We haven't been sick,
Knock on
like really,
wood.
really
Yeah.
sick in a minute. So yeah, it's called Oxycat and it's Feline Essential, which is the brand that the Two Crazy Cat Ladies own and
Yeah.
operate. Digestive health, respiratory support, ear mites, feline herpes, ringworm, chin acne, dental support, oxalate, stones, crystals, rashes, cuts, abrasions, pH balance, infections, and much more. Just because I have it, can I give it regularly or just when they're sick?
I think you can, but I would, if I'm just giving something regularly, I think it would be Catalyst.
Got it.
Yeah,
All right, good
from
to
the,
know. Look at that. You got a little bonus, a little supplement bonus, guys. Thank you all
yay.
for joining us. We will see you next week.
Yes.
I
And
hope everybody has an awesome week.
I know. And just go with the flow. Go with the flow for the month of April. Don't push anything, don't force anything. Just go with the flow.
Is that because of any like astrological things we should know about? Because
Yeah.
today has been the most
We're
unproductive day of my life,
today.
and I am okay with it.
So today started Mercury retrograde
So
through the
Isabella's
25th.
retrograde too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, not to get too woo woo, right? But like, yes. So April
I
1st
love
through
woo
April
woo.
25th is Mercury retrograde. But we are also in eclipse season because we had the lunar eclipse on the 25th and we're going to have the solar eclipse on the 8th. So we've got both, we're in eclipse season and we've got retrograde going on. So we're,
So the eclipse is on the 8th,
yeah,
right? Should
yes.
we discuss the eclipse next week on the day of the eclipse?
Oh, wow.
Let's
Okay.
do it. Let's talk
All
about the
right.
eclipse next week. Whether or not your pets are going to give a damn, whether or not your pets even notice, what it means for
Yeah.
humans. Let's just talk about all of it since you
Okay.
love astrology and all that cosmic stuff. And
I do.
I love woo woo. I love
I
woo woo stuff. So bring
know.
us
And
all the
there's
info.
so many things that, like, I don't know if it's going to be true or not, but we'll talk about it.
Yay! Okay, so meet us here next week at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Central, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
And you do the math on all the
All
other ones. Thank you
the
guys again
others.
for joining
All
us,
right.
and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.